Greetings, friends. It's Josh.
And I'm Ryan.
And we're here today on the Dead Tired Dads podcast. We're going super speed. Woo! Fast. Go.
Go,
now.
go.
Quickly. Okay, we'll slow down. I'm sorry. Ryan, what's going on? How are you this week? Oh, wait. This is a podcast for gamers.
That's right.
Who don't have time to game. Sorry, I was going too quick.
Too fast.
It was going too fast. I was going to blow right by our tagline, which I'm pretty sure we've done before.
We do that like half the time.
Yeah.
We just forget.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's what we're here for, and yeah. So we're two dads, and we're trying to figure out life with video games and kids and wives and jobs.
True.
Yeah.
All the
because it's
above.
complicated. So what's going on, Ryan?
I have what I hope will be a funny story and not a condescending story. So I'm
Okay.
going to try really hard. Just know that my heart is humor, not condescending, judgmental.
All right. Well, I feel condescended to already. The fact that you would think that I would take this in a bad way.
I was actually thinking our listeners,
Oh, okay.
but that too.
Okay, gotcha. So don't feel condescended to, people.
Yeah.
We're not talking down at you.
So I had this thing happen to me the other day. My wife and I would like to own some land.
Okay, yeah. Who doesn't want to own land?
Which, a lot of people do. We both enjoy gardening, so we'd love to have, a large garden, grow our own vegetables, stuff like that. In the past, we have raised chickens, so we'd love to have some chickens. So we're just kind of into that sort of thing. So we'd love to have some land, and so recently I was looking just to kind of see what some prices were, and I actually found some that was a decent price. And so, if you're on any of those websites like Zillow or any of those, they always have this button where you can press to get more information.
Right.
And so I saw 2 or 3 properties that I was intrigued by, and I was like, okay, I'll ask for more information. So I pressed the button, and you have to give your phone number, your email address, and there's a little box where you type a message.
Sure.
And in the box, I typed a little message, and I said, the information I would like is this. And I laid out 2 or 3 things that I wanted to know.
Right.
And then I very plainly said, I'm very busy, I work full-time from home, and I homeschool my children. The best way to communicate with me is email.
They called you, didn't they?
They did call me, Josh. How did you know that that's what this was going?
Good gracious, people.
So, I get a call, and it's just my habit that if I don't recognize the number, I'm not answering.
Right.
I mean, we all do that, right?
Right, yeah.
I don't know that phone number.
Yeah.
So I didn't answer. I immediately get a text message.
Oh, my Lord.
And the person is wanting to, hey, I saw you're interested in such and such address. Can you call me right now and we can talk about it? And so I text back and I said, I cannot right now. I'm at work. Please email me the information. He replies, okay, no problem. I understand. Can we set up a phone call for 1 hour from now?
Oh, my gosh.
I said, no, I cannot. I will be at work. Please email me the information. He responds, no problem. How about 6 o'clock tonight for a phone call?
Oh.
I just stopped.
Wow.
I just stopped responding
Goodness.
at that point because I was like, I'm not going to get the email that I'm asking for.
Mail.
Since I stopped responding, I have gotten 6 more text messages, one a day, asking, hey, can we set up a phone call for such and such time?
No. I do not want a phone call.
And the thing is, I understand why. They have a job, they're trying to sell. I get that. I used to be a salesman, so I know. I understand.
Yeah.
But the questions that I asked were very easy answers.
Right.
And there's a very good chance that if you just, in plain English, give me those 3 answers, you'll make a sale.
Right.
So just give me those 3 answers in a very quick email. You will probably sell that property to me. But I just can't get that. And so it's like, ah! And so, again, I'm telling this story because, it's, to me, the epitome of this very busy dad life.
Yeah,
I'm like,
sure.
Dude, just
Well, yeah.
email me.
No, and I can't get too much into this, but in my day job, part of my job,
I actually thought of you. Yeah,
part of my job is to call people, and I know that people are looking at my number, going either going, I don't know that number. I'm not going to answer it. And so I leave them a message, and so then they go, oh, okay. I'm not calling him
I don't
back.
want to talk to him.
And then I have to call them again like 2 days later.
Yep.
And they're going, oh, it's that guy again.
Still not going to talk
I'm not
to
going
him.
to answer that. So, like, I get that guy. Like, to an extent, I get that guy. But on the other hand, I'm like, in my, realm, again, I can't get into it too much. In my realm, like, there are certain things that I can and can't do to like, communicate with people. And, like, so I can't necessarily just shoot someone an email about something or shoot someone a text message about something. Like, that guy, as a realtor, can very easily just go, okay, like, here's the information that this guy wants. I've got his email address. I'm going to shoot, like, and that will literally take him, like, 3 minutes, much less time than a phone call would.
Yeah,
so,
because so there's multiple reasons why I want this. One, again, I'm just really busy. I work full time. I homeschool 2 children. I have a wife. We're involved in church and other things. I'm just busy. So just that's one reason why. The other reason why, my wife and I do not make any major purchases whatsoever without praying together first.
Sure.
We just don't do it. We don't buy a car without praying together first. We didn't buy our first house. We don't do it.
Yeah.
So what I want is that email. I'm going to print it out, and my wife and I are going to discuss it and pray about it. And so that's why I want that email.
Yeah.
So I can't do a phone call and do that. So that's why. And again,
I want it in writing.
I keep going back to if he would just send that email, he'd probably make a sale.
Yeah.
But, So again, I actually thought of you when I thought of this story because I was like, there's aspects of this that Josh is going to relate to.
Yeah.
And I remember some of that because, again, I used to work in sales. But
well, that guy's going to listen to this podcast and go, oh my gosh. I
had to do.
I need to email that guy.
All I had to do was send an email, man.
So I want to back up a little bit. You mentioned that you raised chickens.
We did, yes.
At one point.
Yes.
So, like, your apartment complex won't let you have chickens right now?
It's the weirdest thing.
That's crazy.
They won't let us have wild chickens running around. I don't understand why.
Why not? Like, come on.
Yeah.
You can have dogs. Why not?
Yeah, exactly. No way that 20 chickens would be as messy as one dog. I mean, come on.
My dad actually raises chickens and has for a long time. So I grew up around them and
yeah.
But chickens are disgusting.
They are pretty gross. Yeah.
Or they can be.
Yeah.
I guess if you you can also do it right, but I said that wrong. You can do it a different way that they're not as gross, but
when
they're
we
still
were
pretty filthy animals.
When we were in seminary, they had a co-op where 6 or 7, I think it was 5 or 6 it was 6 families. 6 families shared the responsibilities of 20 chickens.
Okay.
So you each had 1 day a week, and then it rotated every 7th week. You did 2 days. So our day of the week was Friday. So how it worked is on Fridays we would have to go and feed the chickens and take care of the chickens, and we got the eggs that day.
Gotcha.
So when it was your day, you went and did the chores, and you got the eggs for that day.
It'd be a bad day when the chickens aren't laying for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I'm doing all this and I get 2 eggs.
So the whole reason we did that is because when we lived in Indianapolis before we moved down here, we had a pretty decent sized yard where we grew our own corn, our own peppers, other vegetables.
That is a pretty decent sized yard.
So, like I said, we're just sort of into that. We enjoyed doing that.
Yeah.
We always said one day we'd like to have land, and so when the seminary was advertising this, we're like, hey, we would love to learn about doing that. So the whole point of the co-op was someone who has farming experience taught people how to do this.
That's cool.
So I thought it was a really cool thing. So that's how we got involved in it.
All right. Well, that's chickens and farming and crazy salesmen not sending emails.
Just email me.
Just email me. That's what it boils down to. Sometimes you just want to communicate a certain way.
Yeah.
And I'm not interested in a phone call. Just email me.
Just email me.
So cool. So
Yeah.
yeah,
There you go.
there it is. That's what's up.
So that's my like dead tired dad rant. I don't have time for a phone call right now.
Phone calls are fun. Anyway, why don't we get into our reviews?
Let's do it.
Do you want to go first? You want me to go first? Who wants to go first? I don't care.
Who went first last time?
You did, I think.
All right, you're up.
I'm up. Okay. So I want to talk about a game I played on. Guess what?
Game
Pass.
Pass. Hey!
There it is. Because yes, Game Pass is awesome. So I played a game called RoboQuest.
All right.
RoboQuest is it's kind of in development still, but it's available on Game Pass as kind of like a beta type testing thing.
Yeah.
So they're still like creating like all of the different things. So, but very, very interesting game. Very interesting. So you are, there's a basic story. It's kind of a post-apocalyptic world where there are like these robots that are, around and things like that. But there's this girl and she's traveling, and the animation and the style is very cool. Like I really like the aesthetic. It's very, very cool. How they kind of the art in it is very cool.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot, and kind of like a cell shading, like kind of Wind Waker-esque style, but less cartoony, more gritty. Kind of, I don't know how to describe it, but very cool.
Yeah, I'm looking at because you said the
Our
art.
research department pulled up some images for you.
I looked it up because I couldn't picture what it looked like, and I don't know how to describe it either. But it is cool looking.
So anyway, this girl is traveling in her hover van, and she stumbles across this robot, and she fixes it, and so that's who you are.
Oh, okay.
You're the robot, and she's sending you to like through these areas to explore.
Yeah.
So it's this really cool thing because you start off in this one area, and it's randomly generated. Like every single time, it's a randomly generated, and so you're trying to get through this area to move on to the next area.
Right.
But if you die, you go back to the beginning of the area. But then you go back in through the door, and it's randomly generated again. So it's a completely different experience every single time you play it, which is very cool, but also very disorienting. When you first get into it. So it starts off. It's actually like it starts off, and it feels really, really challenging. And the thing is, like you'll level up, like get certain level ups as you play through the game. But if you die, you lose them all. So like you only keep the levels up as long as you're going through. Right. Now there are certain things that you can do at your home base that you can level up to start off with certain better weapons or certain things that are a little bit different and better to get started with. So it makes it easier to progress as you play the game. But it's still like starting off. It's like I said, very disorienting, very hard to kind of get into. But once you get into it, it is a lot of fun. And like I said, it is still in development, so like everything isn't opened yet. But I've made it through a couple of different places, through a couple of different of the areas. But overall, like, so it's a very very easy game to kind of pick up, just play, for however long you want to, because the story doesn't really, it's not like a super convoluted or complicated story. There is a bit of a story there where you're trying to figure out what's going on, but it's not, it's not really the purpose of the game. The purpose of the game is really just to kind of be fun. Yeah. At least from my experience. And there's all kinds of different weapons that are all very cool. And different ones, that some work better than others, just depending on your play style and things like that. But that's the other thing, like all the weapons are randomly generated too. Like it's like, so you get like, you might get a weapon one time, but it's not going to be, because the world is completely randomly generated. Yeah. So yeah, kid friendly. You're basically just fighting robots, other robots, and so it's not, there's not a lot of violence or anything like that. So you could play it in front of anybody. Yeah. and I would imagine that most kids even would be able to pick, like, it's a game that, like, I could see, like, a kid being able to pick up,
Yeah.
a younger kid being able to pick up and just kind of play through relatively easy. And, they'd die, but they'd still have fun playing it.
Yeah.
And there's lots of different, the thing with it is there's lots of different things to explore and kind of try to figure out, like, what's happening and, like, where to go and things like that. So there's always hidden things in the randomly generatedness of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, quick play, family friendly, and it's on Game Pass for free. I don't know I don't know if it's available anywhere else or if it, how much it would be. I didn't look that information up. Maybe our tech team can get on that and get us that information before the end of the episode. But yeah, I enjoy it and I recommend it. It's a fun game.
There you go.
So
RoboQuest.
That is available, like I said, on Game Pass, and lots of fun.
There you go. So, Josh recommends RoboQuest.
RoboQuest for the win. All right. And let's see, it is available on Steam. Oh, that's another thing I forgot about. It does have, like, multiplayer. I was not able to play it on multiplayer, but I would imagine that would be a lot of fun, because I think how it works is you're still doing the same thing, like going into the randomly generated worlds and things like that. But, if you die, like, your partner can come resurrect you and things like that. So you can probably get much further than I was able to. Let's see. Is it available on Steam? It's still in early access. Like I said, so it's still in development, but it is $19.99 on Steam.
There you go.
$20. I'd say it's well worth it. And like I said, the animation style is very cool. And I'm watching a video right now that of some of the gameplay that from a world that I haven't made it to yet. And I'm like, dang, that looks awesome. So
now Josh wants to play RoboQuest.
Yeah, I'm gonna play RoboQuest when we finish recording this episode. So
there you go. Well, very cool.
Yeah. Ryan, what have you got for us?
I got something pretty different.
Something pretty
interesting. Played a game on Nintendo Switch.
Hey!
We didn't forget about Nintendo.
No, we did not.
Called Syberia.
And
this is I really think Josh would like this game because it's a mystery puzzle game.
Ooh!
And when I say puzzle, I mean, like, you gotta find the right key to unlock that museum, and you gotta find this, and so that's what I mean by puzzle.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the basic story of this game is you are, I can't remember the character's name, but you're a female, you are an attorney for this law firm, and you've been sent from the United States to France to go to this toy factory to finalize the paperwork for the purchase of this toy factory. That's the foundation of the game.
So you're from where? Going to France?
You're from the United States.
From the U.S.
You go to France. And you're going there, you're an attorney, and you're going there to sign the paperwork
for a toy factory.
To purchase the toy factory. Yeah.
But it's not in Siberia.
Don't worry, I'll get there.
Okay. I was confused. I just wanted to make sure that I was tracking properly.
So, pretty early on in the game, I won't give anything away, but I'll just say you can't just so easily sign that paperwork. Some stuff
Jack
happens.
Sparrow comes in and he prevents you from signing the paperwork.
The person that you need to sign over the purchase is in
Siberia.
Siberia.
Oh, so you have to go to Siberia.
So you have to go to Siberia.
From France.
Yeah.
To Siberia. Got it.
Yeah, and so there's this train that's there in this small town in France, but it's not working, and so you got to figure out, like, what is it missing? What do I need to do to make it work?
So you become an engineer.
So
fixing trains.
You Yeah, and it's pretty. So this toy factory sort of specializes in these things called automatons, and they're robots. So it's interesting that you're doing
Transformers.
And yeah, that's what I thought when they first said it, dude. So the reason that I said this is kind of interesting is because the way that I found this game is actually my wife used to play it long before. I know, Josh. The look on Josh's face is exactly the face you should all be making right now.
Yeah, that surprises
You didn't
me.
even know that was a thing, did you?
No, I did not.
So long
I was unaware.
before I met her, she used to play this game on computer.
Okay.
It was originally a computer game.
This is an older game.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And when I was like talking to her one day, and I was kind of commenting on like I'm sort of running out of stuff to play. Like I've got this. I've got a ton of obvious stuff like Halo and The Witcher, and it's like no one needs to hear me say, "Yeah, play Halo." You know, so it's kind of like saying like
I need to hear you say that, Ryan.
So I was like commenting, and she was like, "Oh, I used to play this game. You should try to find it." And so she mentioned it. So I looked on Nintendo Switch, and at the time they were having a sale.
Nice.
And so there's actually 3 of these. There's Siberia, Siberia 2, and Siberia 3. And I ended up getting all 3 for $10.
Kind of obvious as far as the progression goes.
Yeah, it's not very secretive.
1, 2, and 3. Like we've gotten away from that anymore. Like it can't be like 1, 2, and 3 anymore.
we
It
don't have
has
that
to be like it has to have the tag like it, and so you don't even know the
It's
orders
gotta have a
anymore.
subtitle. And yeah.
And then you've got games like you talked about. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago that you talked about the Hunter?
Oh yeah, last week.
The Hunter Call of the Wild that just gets a subtitle for no reason.
Yeah. Was there like Hunter something else? We don't know. So so there's actually 3 of them. And I was able to buy all 3 for a grand total of $10. One was like, I think it was $2, $4, and $4 or something like that.
That's awesome.
So yeah, so I got 3 games for $10. So how long to beat says 10 to 13 hours.
For just the first one or for all 3?
For just the first one. I'm going to just say right now that's got to be wrong. Because there are 5 sections in the first game, and the first section took us about 5 or 6 hours.
Okay.
Just the first section.
Okay.
And that also includes 1 point. So if I didn't mention this, my wife and I are playing it together.
Okay.
So that's kind of really fun. That's something we've never really done before. So we're enjoying playing this game together. So that 5 hours for that first section includes a point where we were just totally lost, and we had to look up what to do next.
Okay.
So I don't even know how long it would have taken without looking it up. So it's pretty fun because, like I said, my wife and I are playing this together. It's sort of this mystery. You're trying to figure out, like, what happened? Why do we have to go to Siberia? How do I get this train working? All these things you're trying to figure out. I am expecting follow-up episodes in the future because I haven't played 2 or 3 yet.
Right.
So
you've played the first one.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes.
So you've piqued my interest.
Oh yes.
Very much so.
Good.
And so just so you guys know, as of the recording of this episode, I'm looking this up. Our
research
department. They need to get a raise because they've been featured.
They do so much work
in like the last 3 episodes,
really have.
Extensively. So our research department has informed me that right now, as of the recording of this episode, you can get all 3 of these games on Steam plus the deluxe upgrade for Siberia 3 and another DLC for Siberia 3 called An Automaton with a Plan, whatever that is.
There you go.
So there's like DLC involved with this as well. So you can get all 3 games plus DLC for the third one for $7.40.
Oh yeah, that's worth it. That's worth it.
So like it says that the bundle right now it's 90% off.
Yeah.
So you can save like $66.55. So
boom.
I don't know how long that will last. it says it's a limited thing, so it will probably not be the case by the time this episode comes out. So, but you could have gotten it for $70.
Yeah,
you could have gotten it for super cheap. So,
yeah, that is well worth it because we've gotten more than $7 of entertainment out of just the first one.
Yeah. No, well, it sounds like an amazing game,
and it's fun because like it's not fast paced at all. It's very slow. Sometimes it's like annoyingly slow because it's like, all right, come on, let's get going.
Right.
But you can pause very easily. There is a story that's interesting, but it's not like critical. And your character has like a journal, so if you miss something, you can go back and why am I doing this again? But we're really enjoying playing it together.
Yeah.
Because that's just something we've never done before. So it's fun to sort of bring her into this well, I say bring her into the hobby, but she played the game before me.
She introduced the game to you.
So it's really fun. I will say, the one thing I will say, since you mentioned it's available on Steam, I'm playing it on Nintendo Switch, and the only complaint I have is there are times where the controls are a little clunky, particularly when you're moving from one screen to another, because it's very clearly designed to be a point and click.
Okay.
Because like you're in this small town, and so you might need to go like down the street to this other building. And if you're using the joystick, there's this very specific spot on the screen that you have to move to. And if you had a mouse, you could just click on it. But if you have the joystick, your character just doesn't really like move the right way.
Yeah.
And so it's a little clunky. So if you have the option, play it on computer. It's still very worth playing on Nintendo Switch. But yeah, if you have the choice, play it on computer.
Yeah, that sounds very cool. I'm very my interest is piqued, and
you would definitely like it. Knowing you and your affinity for puzzle games, you would enjoy it.
I am tempted to just buy it right now
while we're recording.
In the middle of this. I mean, for $7, I mean, why not? Right?
It's pretty fun. It is pretty fun. I commented before I came over here today because we've been a little busy and haven't played for a while, and I commented before I came over here today. I was like, I really want to get back to. I told my wife I want to get back to that.
Emmy and I have tried to do that where we would play games together, or do things together, but like between her work schedule and the kids, like it's just so hard for us to like get time to do that together. It's much easier for me to play games by myself when they're all in bed asleep.
Yep, that's when I do most of my gaming.
But I think I think there are some games that we are definitely going to be playing together coming up. So that it sounds like something fun. So
are we gonna have a Dead Tired Moms episode?
We could.
We should. That'd be
we
so
should do
fun.
that. I think they've pitched that to us before.
We should.
So yeah, we can have them on. We've got more microphones.
We do.
So, all right. Well, so we talked about RoboQuest.
Yep.
And we talked about Siberia.
Yep.
But not necessarily in Russia, but sort of in Russia.
But sort of, but kind of not. But
yeah, because it's not spelled the same. It's with a Y.
True.
So Siberia with a Y, not with an I. If you're looking it up.
Yes. That's funny because when I wrote my notes today, I spelled it with an I.
Yeah.
But
I had to look when I was looking it up. It was like it just pulled up like Siberia, and then I was like, oh no, this is
not what I'm looking for.
Yeah, not. And I figured it out though. So
yeah.
Anyway, that's gonna do it for this episode of the Dead Tired Dads podcast. We've had a lot of fun today. Hopefully, you did too, and we will catch you next time after you do all the things because you need to do all of the things first, and then we'll catch you.
That's right.
So follow, subscribe, like, share, and hopefully you can let other people know about the wonderful thing that is our podcast.
Yep.
We will catch you next time. Thanks so much for listening. Bye.
Bye.